There's plenty that we all want to get out of life. Success, comfort, security. Surely there's plenty that we'd rather avoid too. Pain, rejection, suffering. And yet, in Jesus' final beatitude, he lifts up one of those want to avoids in life and tells us that if it's a present reality, we should rejoice. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Now, this is the only beatitude that comes with an immediate explanation. Jesus doesn't wait until later in the Sermon on the Mount to unpack this. He makes it plain. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. How can suffering like that ever be considered good? Well, Jesus says it's because it fits into a long-established pattern. When people live in step with his heavenly kingdom, they will inevitably rub this world up the wrong way. It happened to the prophets, it happened to Jesus, and it will happen to us when we follow Christ. Luke records Jesus making the same point from the opposite direction. Watch out when everyone speaks well of you, for that is how the ancestors treated false prophets. See, our lives as followers of Jesus will often result in rejection rather than recognition, because the world rejects the King who we're living for. Even the earliest church understood this. They sang of Jesus, the one who suffered rejection and death even for our sake, as being the one whom God raised up and exalted above all others. The pattern is clear that there is suffering now, perhaps, but there is glory to come, certainly. Now Peter, who heard Jesus teaching this firsthand, later wrote to suffering believers to clarify one point. He said that suffering in itself is not a badge of honor. If you suffer for doing wrong, that is of no credit to you. But if you suffer for Christ, then you are blessed. And what is that promise? What is that blessing? Well, it's the same promise that's given to those who recognize the poverty of self and the fleeting nature of this world. Theirs, or ours, might be the kingdom of heaven. You see, a life lived under God's rule and reign means a citizenship in a world that cannot be taken away. Blessed is anyone who gives up that which they cannot keep to gain that which they cannot lose. So do you suffer? Jesus knows. Don't suffer for doing wrong, that's of no benefit. But if you suffer for him, if righteousness is your goal, well then expect opposition and ultimately rejoice, because you are walking the path that truly leads to life. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.